first half of David Price's 2012 campaign, one of the best in baseball, tying for the AL lead with 11 wins and earning his third consecutive All-Star appearance. Tonight, David leads the Rays against 8-game winner Clay Buchholz and the Boston Red Sox. Rays baseball starts now on Sun Sports. Tonight we welcome you to Tropicana Field as the Rays move into Game 2 of this series against the Boston Red Sox in what is the longest homestand of the year. It's a 10-gamer. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays dropped last night's opener in this series 3-1. Tonight they'll send David Price to the mound, their all-star, along with the Rays reliever and closer Fernando Rodney. I'll tell you, you can't get any better than David Price, and it's been fun to watch him. Not only does he have that great arm, 96, 97, but we've watched him develop into a full-fledged pitcher with a full assortment of pitches.
The emergence of weapons. David Price, primarily a fastball pitcher. He's always going to be that way, but we have seen the changeup come along very nicely with that good arm speed. The breaking ball, he's gone to that knuckle curve. He can use it at a couple of different speeds. Sharp break, tight spin. That's been a very good pitch for him. And you know he likes to use that cutter. Likes to try to backdoor it a little bit with 2 strikes. A remarkably consistent first half for David Price. You see the 11 wins. That's just one off of what he had all of last year. And in 15 of the 17 starts he made in the first half, 3 or fewer earned runs given up. He's going to have to be good tonight against that powerful Boston lineup.
And at just 26, he likes to pitch in big games. He's got another one here tonight as we take a look at the starting pitcher presented by your local Southern Ford dealers. Clay Buchholz, who's 5-3 against the Rays in his career. David Price 6-4 against Boston in his young career. The Rays and the Red Sox. Game 2 just moments away. And on the offensive side of things, the Rays have struggled, but over the past few weeks, Ben Zobrist has really swung a hot bat. Todd Callis will take a look at that in a moment. Okay.
by Concert, performed by Train. Good show at Tropicana Field. Tonight, the Rays get ready for the middle game of a 3-game series, and that means another good crowd on a weekend with the Boston Red Sox in town. One guy who's been a key for the Rays offensively, really since going back to when Ben Zobrist worked with Derek Shelton in our Toyota Trend at the new Yankee Stadium as they had a little extra hitting session. Look at those numbers. It almost exactly coincides when Zobrist went with that lesson from Shelton with the numbers since the June 7th. For Ben, it's about letting pitches travel, and for Derek Shelton, he talks about what the key is to the turnaround as well.
I've just been able to control my lower half a little bit more and just use my hands, and that's been the key to my swing, and being able to see the ball and let it get to me before I swing, and I'm able to see all the pitches when I'm not trying to do too much with my body. So that was what we worked on then, and that's what I'm still working on.
He had gone through, some different stances, done some different things, and, I think we were fortunate at the time we had Sutton, who was a friend of his, and the night before they sat up and talked a little bit, and he came in the next day, and before we went out on the field, we had a lengthy conversation about what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it. So it's a credit to him. I mean, we went out one day and spent some time, and he worked, and, we stopped and talked and started again and stopped and talked, and since that point, he stayed consistent, and he's been back to the Zorilla that we like.
So Drew Sutton instrumental in the turnaround as well. Good friend of Ben Zobrist, no longer with the Rays, but he had an impact on Zobrist in that June conversation. We are 2 minutes and 15 seconds just about away from the first pitch. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson with all the action next.
Local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By Tires Plus, the plus is in everything we do. And by the new summer barbecue menu at Burger King. Let's have a barbecue today. Here at Tropicana Field, the Rays and the Red Sox square off for the middle game of their 3-game series. Boston winning last night 3-1. David Price just into the dugout from the bullpen and now on to the mound. Let's take a look at the starting lineup he'll be facing. Boston will have Jacoby Ellsbury leading off and Pedro Ciriaco at second base, hitting second in front of the DH David Ortiz. Cody Ross has swung a very good bat against the Rays this year. He's in right field, hitting in front of Will Middlebrooks. Mike Avili's the shortstop, with Kelly Shoppick, the former Ray, catching. Brent Lillibridge coming over from the White Sox will play first. Daniel Nava, the left fielder, bats ninth.
Well, David Price taking them out tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. And let's take a look at the scouting report brought to you by Coventry of Healthcare of Florida. Number one, extra gas. And I'm not talking about Boston baked beans, D. Wayne. I am talking about velocity. Big time velocity this year. Second in all of baseball and average miles per hour on that fastball. And it's not just having that extra gas, but it's being able to maintain it throughout the game. Expect him to come out with that tonight, lead with that pitch, then get to his secondary pitches and keep him stranded. You know, when you look at David Price, one of the big knocks on him last year, why he had a down year, what people talked about, runners in scoring position. He's doing a much better job in that category this year, obviously reflected in his results, and at the same time, second in the league in stranding runners behind only the Rays' Jeremy Hellickson. So doing a much better job with runners out on the base paths.
You can see the numbers on Price, 11-4 with that .282 earned run average, fifth best ERA in the league, and tied in the win department in the American League for wins with 11.
Let's take a look at the defense that's going to line up behind David. In the outfield, left to right, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Ben Zobrist. Across the infield, third to first, Jeff Keppinger, Elliot Johnson, Sean Rodriguez, and Carlos Pena. Jose Molina will be behind the plate.
We're all set to play ball. There's Jacoby Ellsbury, who just came off the disabled list to start this series last night. It's just the 9th game. He's played all year for the Red Sox. He had a base hit last night in 5 at-bats. And he steps in against David Price. Ellsbury with a 194 average, and here is the first pitch presented by Pinch a Penny, and it's a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes. We're underway. And a little ground ball chopper to the right side for Sean Rodriguez, who handles that. Ellsbury is out of there. 1 up, 1 down. That's another thing about Price. He's done more of this year. His ground ball percentage consistently in his young career has been on the increase, and he's really taking that to another level here. It's moved up to a point now, a significant jump in the ground ball percentage.
Absolutely. He's approaching 70%. I'd love to see that. 166 ground balls, the fly balls, and obviously the 105 strikeouts.
Siriaco up here, and he looks at a fastball. That's a strike. Siriaco had 3 hits and a sacrifice last night. Didn't hit the ball hard, but they turned out to be key hits. A little late right there trying to catch up, and could not. Strike 2.
Now that ball just jumps out of David's hand very easy. Sometimes that motion will fool you. You see David nice and smooth, and the ball just explodes into the zone.
Pitch is down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the big hit for Siriaco last night, his first time up in the 2nd inning.
You can see Jeremy Hellickson, watch him turn and hoping for that double play, and nobody gets there.
Tap foul. It's still 1-2. That's the kind of situation where sometimes if a pitcher grabs at that ball, he disrupts a double play opportunity. And he, judging by how softly the ball was hit, thought that it would be played.
Well, absolutely. And if you're a middle infielder, you can't worry about what the pitcher is going to do. You break off to the bag once he fields it. Until then, you go for the ball.
2-2 the count.
The first job that you have is to field that ground ball. If it gets cut off in front of you, then you make the adjustment and head to the bag. Don't assume.
2-2 the count to Siriaco. He fouls it to stay alive. Fastball fouled up the right side, out of play. Well, the Rays started the day a half game out in the wild card standings. The Angels topping that list. Baltimore and Cleveland with identical records at the start of the day. Half game up on the Rays and a half game up on Detroit. And that is a swing and a miss. He's out of there. A chopping swing at what appeared to be a cutter.
It was, and David Price was determined to get Siriaco on the cutter. This was the third one that he saw during this at bat. This was the worst of the bunch. Bounced, looked like it bounced right off the plate. Very close to it. You get the desired result there. The bad swing, strike 3.
So 2 outs with the bases empty. And the hitter is going to be David Ortiz. Ortiz hot leading up to the All-Star break. And a home run his first time up last night. The first pitch in there, a fastball, 97. Strike 1.
Right on the outside corner.
To look at the standings, the Rays now 9 back. The Yankees won their game today. And look at the wild card bunched up. 2 strikes the count. Fastball again to Ortiz.
And that was in. So he goes away at 97 on the outside corner, comes in at 96, gets that pitch to the inside corner. You're now sitting pretty at 0-2, and you can do anything you want.
Missed. Fastball there.
And you know what? I love that idea right there. First of all, going with the fastball, but how about the setup by Jose Molina? He gets way off the plate and then angles himself back towards the plate to try to give the appearance of a strike. Home plate umpire. See, that pitch was close.
And a pitch misses, a little wide. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3 call. Fastball. Ortiz has a word with Jeff Nelson. He took a couple other very close pitches and now called out on strikes on this pitch. Bottom of the first coming, no score. Brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Take a look at the Rays lineup tonight, put together by Joe Madden. Elliott Johnson again in the leadoff spot, followed by Carlos Pena and then Ben Zobrist. B.J. Upton, Luke Scott, Jeff Keppinger 4, 5, and 6. Desmond Jennings down in the 7th spot. Jose Molina hits 8th. Sean Rodriguez at second base tonight. He hits 9th.
Well, taking them out tonight for the Boston Red Sox is right-hander Clay Buchholz. coming off the disabled list with a gastrointestinal illness. Making his first start since the 19th of June. Made that start against the Miami Marlins. And up to that point, his last 5 starts have been very, very good. It'll be interesting to see if he can pick up where he left off.
Bobby Valentine, the skipper of this Boston Ball Club. Red Sox in a game over 500, 44-43. Here's Elliott Johnson, switch hitter, and they have Middlebrooks in close at third. First pitch is a fastball from Buchholz for a strike. Elliott 270 for the year and 328 from the left side. It's inside. The count is 1-1. Full foul. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Well, here's the breakout of Buchholz's season so far. 14 starts coming into this one, and much better the last 5 times out.
And the difference has been his command. Not just command of the strike zone, but just command overall. Much better job of strikeout to walk ratio.
And there's strike 3 call on the inside part of the plate.
Much more efficient with his pitches, just like that one catching the inside corner. Let's take a look at the Red Sox defense. He's going to line up behind him in the outfield, left to right. Daniel Nava, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Cody Ross across the infield, third to first. Will Middlebrooks, Mike Aviles, Pedro Siriaco, and Brent Lillibridge. Kelly Shopik will be behind the plate.
The other thing for Buchholz, even when he was giving up a lot of runs in those early starts, he was getting a lot of support.
When you've got a first 9 starts, a 7.84 earned run average, and your run support average is 8.76, that's how you have a winning record.
Yeah, he was 3-1 in those 5 starts. Strike 1 to Pena, and he gave up 7 in one start, 5 in another, 6 in another, then 5, then 6, and he came out of that 3-1.
That's pitching on the right day.
8-2 overall right now. One strike to count to Pena. Down and in, it's 1-1. Carlos 200 lifetime against Buchholz. In 25 at bats, he has 5 hits and a home run. Too high, 2-1.
Well, tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
And you have 13 home runs on the season. 0 for 4 last night. And looks a high popper on the left side. Angling out is Aviles, coming in from left. It's Nava. Middlebrooks also got out there. But if Nava doesn't get there, nobody gets there.
Well, yeah, Middlebrooks and Aviles, odd angles, and they did not look good or very sure of themselves going out after that pop-up. Daniel Nava, obviously, with much better perspective, is able to come in and make the play, but the 2 infielders, see where they're stationed, where they've got to go to, and nobody looks like they're really sold on getting there. Aviles is trying hard, but he's going to overrun it. Nava makes the play.
And Middlebrooks is going to underplay it. Aviles overran it, and Nava came in there just at the right spot.
Middlebrooks was playing the carom.
It's Ben Zobrist.
Himself
Takes
a good
the pitch wide.
Good rebounding position.
Ben, 5 of his last 14 and 353 since June the 7th. He really battled to get to 200 over the first couple months, but the last month plus he's been very hot, and he's ahead 2-0 in the count right now.
Put that extra work in with hitting coach Derek Shelton, and boy, the dividends have been through the roof.
Pitch is wide, 3-0. You know what he's done, it seems to me, could be analogous to pitchers who get into tough spots and they want to throw harder, sometimes softer is better. Here's a guy who struggled, and you think, well, I want to go out and do something. I want to attack the pitch. But
right
now he's letting the pitch, he'll tell you, come to him more. And so it's the reverse of what you would think, well, I want to be a man of action here and go out after those pitches. Well, he was getting himself out doing that.
That's exactly right. And he got himself into some bad habits. You know, he's one of those guys that has a pretty good command of the strike zone, takes his walks.
This pitch is a strike.
You're right. He started to kind of expand that zone, really got himself into a hole and did the extra work, tightened up that strike zone discipline, and really went to work. That ball out over the plate. He looked awkward there as Shopik had to reach for it. Definitely a strike.
Now the 3-2 and strike 3 call. The pitch came back to get the plate. Zobrist out on strikes. We go to the second, no score.
To you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida.
On to the second we go tonight. Rays and the Red Sox. David Price on the hill after his 12th win of the year, 11-4 coming in. Matt Harrison, the lefty with the Texas Rangers, also has 11 victories, and then 4 tied with 10 apiece. And Cody Ross lead it off. Boy, he has some good numbers against the Rays. 13 home runs on the year with a .262 average. The first pitch hit on the ground to third, grabbed by Keppinger. He throws a strike right across the diamond to Carlos Pena, and Ross is out of there. You think of offensive forces in the season series against these two teams, and the Red Sox against the Rays, and you think, well, how about David Ortiz? Well, Cody Ross had driven in 12 runs against the Rays this year and hit 3 home runs. Ortiz 2 homers and 9 runs batted in.
You know, and it doesn't. This has obviously been a team that's been nicked up with injuries, but boy, they continue to run out a very productive offense.
Middlebrooks takes the pitch for a strike. Rookie third baseman. Fastball, that's a strike at 95, 0-2. Down a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Price made 14 pitches in the first with a couple strikeouts. Buchholz made 14 pitches and struck out 2 in his first. And a cut and a miss. Middlebrooks out on strikes on the cutter. Strikeout number 3.
Well, through 5 hitters here, David Price has just not allowed these Boston Red Sox hitters to get comfortable in the box. I mean, just going right after him. Made short work of everybody. 0-2 there on Middlebrooks, misses with a fastball, and then there's that backdoor cutter we talked about, pick up the strikeout. Just don't let him have any time to get settled at all.
Gavilas, he's hitting 6th and playing shortstop. He fouls a fastball back and to the right. Into the screen. 0-2.
Well, and that's what you force them to do. You're going to come out and pound the zone like that. They can't afford to sit back and be 0-2, 1-2. Force that lineup to come out and have to swing the bat right from Jump Street. You can really start to have fun with it.
The 0-2 and a ground ball, base hit up the middle. A fastball, and Aviles picks up the first hit of the game.
Now, just did not get that pitch to the spot he wanted. Wanted that ball in, and David Price left that one out over the plate just a little bit too much, and Aviles was able to fight it off. Watch, this ball's supposed to be in, and actually that ball's off the end of the bat. Quite gets there.
That'll be Kelly Shopik. Shopik with 4 home runs on the year and an average of 269. Shopik at times the battery mate of Price. Kelly stay here with the Rays. Strike 1. As we mentioned, at 269. He's hitting over 300 at Fenway Park. There's the strike. 0-2. Changed up on him that time. At 5 of 12 against the Rays this year. 0-2 count. A little bit wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Nothing's better than this. The first steal of his career, stopped short, sneak by. Never gets old.
Absolute evasive action. I mean, that's more difficult than a triple axel. Although I'd like to see him attempt a triple axel just for fun. And he might if you challenged him.
Oh, he would. Absolutely, he would.
Well, it'd probably be in the clubhouse. 1-2 the count to Shopik. Fielders at first with 2 gone. And strike 3 called. Cutter started wide and caught the plate. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. Gets a little sweeter when Gavin DeGraw takes the stage. That will follow the Rays-Mariners game. Catch him perform all his hits like I Don't Want to Be, Not Over You, and Sweeter. Concert free with the purchase of tickets to the game between the Rays and the Mariners. Rays facing Clay Buchholz tonight. And B.J. Upton will lead off. Upton, Scott, and then Keppinger here in the second inning. It's tapped foul. B.J. has some success against Buchholz, hitting .353 and a home run off him. Down. 1 ball, 1 strike. The last year and a half, challenging for Buchholz. When he's healthy, he's been very good, but he had the stress fracture in his back last year. This pitch down, and then the issues that you mentioned: esophagitis, irritation of the esophagus. That sounded serious for a while, and now he's back. If he's healthy, he's an important part of the Red Sox rotation. Popped up foul back at first, and that's going to carry out a play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you get kind of a glimpse on what he can bring to the table in those last 5 starts before he was sidelined with that illness. Very efficient with his pitches. Working that ball down in the zone. He's got that good fastball with a little late action on it. Changeup, of course, the very good curveball. He'll cut the fastball. Comes at you with a nice angle, too.
And a strike call on the outside edge at 95. Strikeout number 3.
Yeah, and both of these guys tonight, David Price in the early going, and here Clay Buchholz really commanding well. This pitch right on the outside corner just freezes BJ. Tough pitch.
And that's a pitch, particularly with right-handed hitters, that Jeff Nelson will give a pitcher. His reputation is that he will widen that pitch, that plate just a little bit off there to call that pitch a strike. Here's Luke Scott. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. He also, from time to time, will get that high strike. We'll see how that works out tonight. One and one.
I'll tell you what, the way these two guys are throwing the baseball right now, if they're going to get a little bit off the plate and the high strike, scrape across 1, please. Maybe all you need.
He drops that one in there. Breaking pitch. That to go with precisely located fastball. There's a breaking ball.
Boy, the spin is so tight. You see that break. It's big. What says it all?
Tapper foul. Holds the count in 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And if you're Luke Scott right now, you're saying, okay, what next? He just threw a fastball up and away that I swung through. He dropped a curveball, pretty nasty pitch, and then he throws me a changeup that I cue off the end of the bat. Back to that hook.
1-2. It's down and in. Squared the count at 2-2.
Well, you can see Kelly Shopik, his first sign that he gave, he wanted that fastball up and away again. Buchholz shook off, went to the curveball. See if he follows Kelly here.
Well, they got Scott in a big situation last night in the 4th inning on a couple fastballs up.
Well, that swung, the pitch that he swung through, the fastball up and away, was not a very good, smooth swing by Luke.
And the pitch is down, off speed, so the count is full. Well, now what? Buchholz did have him down on the count.
Yes, he did.
And here's Scott working the count all the way to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cadence of Buchholz now changing here in the last 2 or 3 pitches. Ground ball up the middle, and right there Aviles shaded to the first base side of the bag. So Scott hit it up the middle, a fastball, and the shift got him.
Well, defense was placed perfectly. You know, with all these shifts now, so many times historically in baseball, you see a ground ball going up the middle, and you're like, yep, base hit up the middle, but can't assume that anymore. That ball just perfectly played by Aviles, and out number 2.
So here's Keppinger. Base is empty. Ground ball headed to short. Aviles from the normal shortstop spot throws him out. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 3rd. No score. David Price against Clay Buchholz tonight as we go to the third inning. Rays and the Red Sox are scoreless. 4 strikeouts, 26 pitches through the first 2 innings for David Price. 3 of those strikeouts on the cutter and 2 of those swinging.
Yeah, nothing fluky about those numbers. David Price has been very sharp with all of his pitches, very efficient also.
So here's Brent Lillibridge, who's playing first base tonight. Lillibridge, part of the deal with the Chicago White Sox that sent Kevin Youkilis packing. Lillibridge takes it up the right field side, foul, slicing it beyond the bullpen and out of play for a strike. Price starting the night 5th in the league in ERA and in the top 10 in strikeouts. Throwing a lot of first pitch strikes so far, the first time through the lineup. And he has him out front on that change, or it might have been a breaking ball, but boy, he was way out in front. I think
Change-up.
Change-up.
It absolutely was. Not the normal speed range that we see David Price's change-up in, but still effective. Put it in a perfect spot, too.
I've seen a couple of those tonight. Something that has been very good for him this year, and part of the arsenal of pitches that we talked about in the opening comments, to see him develop as a full-fledged pitcher, and that changeup has been a great addition. Ground ball toward the hole left side. Keppinger gets himself up and makes the throw to first. That takes care of Lillibridge. Keppinger moving to his left and to leave his feet, but got up in time to make the play.
Well, that's what you wondered when he went down for that. The thought was, could he get up, make the play in time? Keppinger, nice job of getting right up, spin, and good accurate throw. Get picked up by your defense there and keep that leadoff man off first base.
So a nice play by Keppinger down at third. Bring up Daniel Nava. Nava hitting 270, 170 from the right side. Nava hit up in the lineup in last night's game, spending most of the night from the left side. 1 ball, no strikes. Two and 0. So 7 out of 9 first pitch strikes the first time through for David Price. It's foul out of play.
That's 7 out of 9. You'll take that all day long. Done a nice job here in the early going of dictating the pace, setting the tempo.
And a 1-2-3 first. Gave up a 2-out single in the second. Ground ball out to start the third. Nava fouls it back. Fastball, and the count goes to 2-2. Rays 4-6 in the season series against Boston. 1-2 here and 3-4 up at Fenway. A couple of games left in the season series in Boston. The Red Sox will have another series to be played here at Tropicana Field before the year is out. And there's strike 3 call. Fastball gets Nava looking. 2 gone here in the third. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Well, Dwayne, last night we didn't have much new news on the Evan Longoria situation. We do have some good news tonight on the Matt Joyce injury rehab. He's already been out on 1 rehab, as you know, earlier. Had that mild oblique strain, and then it turned into a lower back strain in his first rehab. But here he is ready to go again. Tomorrow he has been cleared by the athletic department. Head athletic trainer Ron Porterfield to go to Class A, Florida State League Charlotte Stone Crabs. He'll begin a 3-game rehab. Joe Madden says he could be back as early as next Wednesday if all goes well. Back to you.
All right. Well, that would be good news for the Rays. Jacoby Ellsbury shortens on the bat, takes the pitch for a strike. The Rays would just love to get some healthy hitters in there so they could get some regular at-bats and try to ignite this offense. Rays hitting .232 as a team right now. A lot of time has been spent talking about the Evan Longoria situation and when he will be back, and there was speculation that his season might be over, and he absolutely rejects that idea that his season would be over. Talk about possibility of a return sometime in August, but the truth of the matter is nobody really knows.
No, not at all. And you know, hamstrings are very, very tricky. I mean, it's just one of those injuries. It's difficult to say. See him in the cage working the glove, trying to activate that thing.
You get the feeling that all of that, and he's gone through a regular workout there of hitting and some fielding and then running the stairs 2-2. But you also get the feeling just watching him, there's some caution in all of those activities he's carrying out.
I couldn't agree more. Just that one swing that we saw, and it could have been just one pitch, but look, you know, a lot of upper body, not firing that lower half as much. And especially when you've had that injury, hamstring is a tough injury. Then you go out on a rehab and have a setback. So now you're going to be extra cautious. Usually you're cautious anyway with any type of an injury, but when you have a setback, you're really overcautious.
3-2. And a fly ball lifted into left for Desmond Jennings. He's there and makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Red Sox. Bottom of the third coming. No score in this game. Coming in to bat again against Clay Buchholz. Let's take a look at tonight's Circle K league leaders. We talked about all the run support Buchholz got from the Red Sox, especially early when he was struggling. Felix Dubron for the Red Sox, a lot of run support. Chris Sale, the Rays know very well that he doesn't need all that run support the way Sale pitched against the Rays.
Overkill.
Ricky Romero and CC Sabathia, so pretty good pitchers right there getting a lot of run support.
Guys get excited to play on those days. Good feeling about the outcome of that game and living right.
Well, here is Desmond Jennings to lead off the third inning. And the pitch is a strike. Desmond hit 8th in the game last night. hitting 7th again tonight, out of the leadoff spot. Joe Madden says that might be that way for a little while.
Well, you got to try to do something to get Desmond going. Maybe get him down that bottom third of the lineup where he's forgotten about it a little bit. Get him hot. You know, I'm really a firm believer, too, with Desmond Jennings. With his athletic ability, he really should do something on a nightly basis that shows you how different he is from all the other players in baseball. Whether it be running out to first base on a pop-up, being halfway to second, running down a ball in the outfield. It's something every single night.
The liner into right field, sinking. A one-hop base hit handled by Ross out there as Desmond Jennings takes the ball the other way. Well, one of the things, and I agree with you, I think you're right, because he can be special in that way.
Right.
One of the things that Madden wanted him to do was to find that strike zone a little better.
Well, yeah, he has been expanding. Hitters do that when they're struggling. And this line drive out here to right field almost looked like Cody Ross pulled up on that, was unsure of himself on whether to go for the catch. Let that thing drop in. We'll see if it ends up working out. A leadoff base hit here for Desmond Jennings, and tremendous speed over there at first base. One of those opportunities to try to make something happen.
Jose Molina is the hitter. Jennings in the running game this year is 15 out of 16. And Buchholz can at times be difficult to run against. And there's a move over to first. Toss a little high. Jennings back in.
Well, you've got to be aware when you're over there taking your lead and never give up on Buchholz. He will pick out of a variety of different poses as he's on his way up, as he's just standing there after he comes set. You're never really sure.
And again, a move over. A couple of years ago, he gave up 8 steals, and they had 6 caught stealings, and he picked off 3 hitters. It's 3-hitter runners, technically runners at that point. And Desmond back in again.
Well, yeah, and he's going over there at different times out of the stretch. You can see he's got quick feet. He's been accurate with his throws.
Rays have the leadoff man aboard. First time either team has done that tonight in this pitching matchup. The pitch to Molina's inside a little bit. Buchholz mindful of Jennings over there. They rushed that pitch a little bit to Molina.
Well, the one thing that Clay Buchholz will do is become very deliberate with runners on base, especially base stealers. Really slows the game down.
And there's a strike over the outside part of the plate, away from the right-handed hitter.
But he did a much better job on that pitch of staying within his mechanics. Over the rubber just a little bit longer, driving that ball downhill, not rushing, as you pointed out on the previous pitch that he left arm side high.
1-1. There's a line drive. That's going to be a fair ball up the left field side. Jennings will go to third. The throw back towards second. An off-speed pitch, and Molina lines it down the left field line for a base hit. And it's first and third with nobody out.
Now that ball was left up in the zone, and Jose Molina took full advantage of it. Watch where this pitch is. Ball, look at that. Middle of the plate, above the belt.
Well, one of the reasons Molina's in the lineup tonight is that he's 4 out of 10 against Buchholz coming in.
Desmond flashing some of that speed before finally being held up by Tom Foley over there at third. And now first and third with nobody. And it's been the bottom of the order. And interestingly enough, when you look at Clay Buchholz, the 8 and 9 hitters, obviously Jose Molina in that hole tonight, have hit .379 off him this year with 5 home runs. Tremendous amount of damage from the bottom of the lineup. Sometimes indicates lack of focus and concentration down there at the bottom.
Sean Rodriguez. And he starts him with a fastball over the outside part of the plate. Strike one. First and third, the Red Sox have Siriaco and the Phillies at second and short at double play depth.
What Clay Buchholz is looking for here is a ground ball double play, something he's been very good at this year. 17 induced in his 14 starts.
Rodriguez to put down the bunt, and it's foul up the right side. The Rays trying to get the first run of the game in that first and third situation via the bunt.
Well, they like to do that. And right there, you see that ball was cutting away from Sean Rodriguez, and the angle was set initially, but then he compromised that in reaching for that ball. That's why he couldn't keep it fair.
So Sean is behind in the count, 2 strikes. Into center. Ellsbury's there to make the catch. Jennings goes back to tag, and he will score easily, and the Rays have the first run of the game. Jennings scores from third on the sacrifice fly to center by Rodriguez. 1-0 Rays.
Well, Buchholz was going for the strikeout with the breaking ball, and he just hung that pitch right out over the plate. Fortunate that Sean Rodriguez didn't drill that ball into the gap. He hit it well, but Ellsbury is able to run it down.
So Molina is still at first with 1 out. The Rays have a run. Elliott Johnson batting from the left side. He swings and lifts a fly ball to right. Ross will angle back and make the catch on the track, and Molina heads back to first. Johnson on the first pitch. Got an off-speed pitch. Skies toward right center.
Just did not make solid contact. The swing looked good. The ball off the bat had that nice trajectory, but he got around it a little bit. Didn't have that good carry.
And that'll be Carlos Pena. Jennings open with a base hit. He scored the run. Molina's at first with 2 outs for Pena. Carlos 0 for 1. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him. Strike 1.
A little bit tardy on that swing there by Carlos Pena. Well, enjoy your favorite dessert with Carlos tomorrow, July the 15th. The Rays take on the Red Sox as part of Family Fun Day presented by the Tampa Bay Times. The first 10,000 kids 14 and under receive a Carlos Pena ice cream bowl and spoon set presented by Carvel. Did you take that one home with you last night, Blaine?
I got it right here in the cabinet waiting for somebody with ice cream to walk by. 1 strike to count here on Carlos. This one is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to be prepared.
Yeah. Ice cream truck, yes or no?
Have you experienced that?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know what creeped out?
Too young to think about that then.
It's true.
1 ball, 1 strike. Just foul back. 1 and 2. Jennings has scored. Molina's at first. 2 gone. A ball, 2 strikes to Carlos Pena. Pitch is low. Curveball down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, we got some time here. We talk about the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Let me present this scenario with you. Ice cream truck driven by a clown.
No, never did that. No. Didn't approach it. Wouldn't go.
I have goosebumps right now just talking about it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And a full count.
Now let me throw this one at you.
Okay.
Oh, just kidding. He's got some time to kill here.
Well, the guy driving it may have driven it like a clown, but he wasn't dressed like one.
Those are 2 things that I just have trouble with.
Yep.
Clowns, not a big fan,
Yep.
and ice cream trucks.
Yep.
And I think it's the music, too. You're just like, you know, just, I don't know. Doesn't
Yep.
sit well.
Yep. Hey, how about that, though? There's some ice cream. No problem with that.
Not on wheels. Perfect.
Yeah.
Little helmet. Nice.
Perfect.
Sprinkle some nuts on there. A little topping.
3 balls, 2 strikes, and a high fly ball to right field. Cody Ross locating that one, keeping his eye on it. He makes the catch. Rays score a run, leave a man, and at the end of 3, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. To the 4th inning. Little game of the series. Tonight's AT&T trivia question. You're looking at Pedro Ciriaco. He has at least 3 hits and a stolen base in his last 3 games. He was the last player to accomplish that feat before Ciriaco. Boston infielder getting a chance to play with Dustin Pedroia on the shelf. Pedroia has a sprained right thumb. So Ciriaco's in there at second base, getting ready to lead off the 4th. Ortiz and Ross will follow him.
Doesn't Ciriaco, doesn't that name sound like a shady villain from a really edgy drama? Ciriaco coming after you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just one name.
Something unsettling about it.
Just Ciriaco.
That's all you need.
Yeah. That's right. Or Pedroia.
Yeah.
There you are.
Watched him take BP today. Looked pretty good.
Siriaco comes out swinging and fouls it away, out of play.
Maybe they work in tandem. They kind of do.
Yep. David Price delivers a strike, and he's in front of Siriaco. Has the jump, if you will, on Siriaco.
I will. And he's been doing that all game long. That's what makes him so effective. He takes that elite stuff and immediately has put these hitters on the defensive.
The 0-2. Down around his feet. 5 strikeouts tonight for Price. Gave up a base hit to Aviles in the second inning. It's the only base runner through the first 3. And Siriaco chases that pitch away. So Price disposes of Siriaco on strikes for the second time.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's text poll question brought to you by AutoWay. How many games do you think David Price will win this year? TB1, 20 plus. TB2, 18 or 19. TB3, 16 or 17. TB4, 15 or less. Text 789-789 and submit your vote. Standard message and data rates will always apply.
David Ortiz was called out on strikes his first time. And hits a ground ball through the left side. That's a base hit. The Rays had Johnson shaded toward the middle, and Ortiz took it right through the normal shortstop spot.
Well, you know what? You can live with that. David Ortiz, you're worried about him driving the baseball. If he wants to take a ground ball single to the left side, that defense is designed to allow him to do that. And that's all he did. This is a 2-strike type of swing. David Ortiz just finds that hole and punches it through.
Take a look at that when you see hits by direction. He has as many hits to left as he does to right.
And I'll bet you 30 of the 34 in the air. He is not afraid to use that green monster in left field and has the ability to drive the ball that way. But I'll bet you the majority are in the air. Not too many on the ground like that.
Want to know the count to Cody Ross. Ross out, third to first, his first time. There's a strike. 1-1. You know, we didn't see much of that changeup the last couple starts Price made, but it has been in play here a handful of times already tonight.
Well, David Price, he will go with what is working that particular night. The fastball always good. Curveball has been very good recently. But, you know, changeup, too, is one of those field pitches. So you want to make sure that you are using it start to start to keep it sharp. Imagine that, Jose Molina getting his bell rung.
Yeah, that's just a nightly occurrence.
But he stayed on his feet.
Somebody answer the phone. A ball, 2 strikes. And it's a bit wide. Stayed out there. He tried to cut it in the back door. And the count is still now 2-2. 1 on, 1 out. Cody Ross out on strikes. Well, that's been a great pitch for him tonight. 2 strikeouts in this inning, 7 in the game.
Well, just cutting that ball down and away. Cody Ross swings right over the top of it. What has been a nasty pitch, and he has made no bones about it. He'll start you whatever the sequence is. 2 strikes, here comes my backdoor cutter. What are you going to do about it? So far, not much.
Will Middlebrooks. He waves and misses. Strike one. Put him out in front. Middlebrooks struck out swinging on a cutter his first time. And there's the strike. 0-2.
Again. Start off with the changeup, then come with 96 right on the outside corner, and here you are again sitting 0-2. We did this to Middlebrooks his last at bat.
And a fly ball back into deep left center field off the fastball, and that's going to carry out of here. An 0-2 fastball, and Middlebrooks hits his 11th home run of the year. He got it out of here into left center field, and that will give Boston a 2-1 lead.
Now David Price trying to come in with that fastball, and in an 0-2 count you want to make sure that you get it in there. Not a bad pitch. That ball was probably not as far in as David wanted, but Middlebrooks, a nice job of being short and direct to the baseball, and he's strong enough, and David Price is supplying enough power with the velocity that you can get that extra little bit of carry and get it over the fence.
Yeah, you're right about the location of that pitch. Not the worst pitch in the world, and you've got to give Middlebrooks credit for doing what he did with that pitch. Aviles takes one high.
He just didn't get greedy. He pulled the hands through and just got the barrel of the bat to the baseball. Let David Price do most of the work.
Now a pop up. Keppinger at third base and a few steps. That will retire the side. Boston in with 2 on the home run by Middlebrooks. 2-1 Boston. Boston taking the lead on the Middlebrooks home run. Let's get the answer to tonight's AT&T trivia question. Pedro Siriaco at least 3 hits and a stolen base in his last 3 games. Who was the last player to accomplish that?
I have a sneaking suspicion, yes.
Johnny Damon.
Knew it. I was tipped off.
You were tipped off?
I was... that I would enjoy the answer. And I thought, my first thought was, any list that we have, and Johnny Damon's a part of it, so there you go.
Well,
Speed.
we learned a lot more about Johnny Damon on our last trip to Cleveland with all the lists that he's on. And now He's accomplished something that has only been, let's see, that was 2000 with Kansas City. Here we are in 2012, a dozen years, and finally he was equaled by Sirianni.
A shady villain got him from the shadows.
And Zobrist leading off the bottom of the fourth. 1 strike to count. Pitch is foul. That's going to be out of play. It's off the railing in the upper deck. 2 strikes. Had a choice to make. The refreshment or the baseball. He kept the refreshment. Strategically positioned right over the Sun Sports sign.
Look at that.
Enjoying a refreshment.
Shameless plug. There's nothing wrong with it.
One ball, 2 strikes.
We should talk about him endlessly tonight.
If he caught that ball, it would have been the highlight.
Keep going back to him.
Yeah. Zobrist sends a popper into shallow right center, and angling out from shortstop. Aviles takes care of that. He had Zobrist out in front.
Right off the end of the bat. That ball just kind of died out there. Mike Aviles laughing about it now. Had to go a long way. Just ordered some orange whips for everybody.
B.J. Upton. Strike 1. Ball rolling in behind the plate umpire Jeff Nelson. Takes the count to 0-2. Both these pitchers throwing a lot of first pitch strikes tonight. 10 out of 13 for Buchholz. Put in. Fastball. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Upton out on the fastball. Strikeout number 4 for Buchholz.
Now, this is just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later. Tonight's game brought to you by Miller Lite.
And here's Luke Scott. 2 outs with the bases empty. Pitch is down, a ball and no strikes. Luke hit the ball up the middle his first time, but right to Aviles, who again is stationed on the first base side of second. And that pitch breaks in, started wide, and the curveball broke right over for a strike. It's 1-1. That's a hot shot, going to be foul beyond the bullpen. Advancing the count to 1-2.
That ball was moving in on Luke Scott just a little bit quick with the trigger, trying to get the head out. keep it fair.
Now the 1-2. And it's foul. The right side, breaking ball. Holds the count. And a ball and 2 strikes. Rays got a run in the 3rd. Boston 2 runs in the 4th. Red Sox beat the Rays last night 3-1. And strike 3 called. It started wide and then cut over, caught the corner. So the Rays are out 1-2-3, and they trail 2-1.
Lead the Rays 2-1. Hey, make sure you follow us on Twitter. It's @SunSportsRays. We've got your in-game updates, all kinds of news coming your way, so you definitely want to check us out on social media. Now, David Price had a little bit of a social media milestone of his own. He reached 100,000 followers, and he says if he reaches 200,000, he might let a fan keep Astro for the day. Then he thought about it, had some second thoughts, and wasn't so sure about that proposition.
Well, I said somehow I would get to keep Astro for a day, and then after I sent that, I was like, I don't know if I really want that to happen, but can't really go back on my word.
Dwayne and BA, I was thinking maybe you all might want to sign up for the Astro contest and see if you could keep Astro for a day. He might add a lot to the broadcast booth. What do you think?
Oh, there's no question he would add a lot. I'm just surprised that David didn't check with Astro first. That seems to me to be the proper protocol.
I think Astro would be great up here. Check with them. Astro's going to dig it up here, number one. And then I'll take Astro home, and he can play with Lizzie overnight.
There you go.
And they can have their fun, and then we'll bring Astro back. No worse for the wear.
Yeah, well, we're for it.
Yeah, all for it.
There's room for him here.
Until we're against it.
Yeah. There's a strike. Now 1-1. So we'll have Astro in the booth, right?
Yeah.
Then in January we'll be heading to Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, riding the coattails. Well, Todd Callis, the official.
Todd's busy putting together our attire.
It'll be all black.
It was today.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought maybe
it's a little deeper.
In memory of Johnny Cash, something like that, maybe.
Jerry Glanville.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Or just maybe the Oakland Raiders across the board. The old
I'll tell you what,
Raiders.
Yeah, and if he doesn't watch himself, he may end up with an eye patch.
Kenny Stabler. This one is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Price, 7 strikeouts tonight. Touched up for the home run by Middlebrooks. And the pitch a little high right there to Shopping. 3-2. One more thought on Todd. If anybody can make a black shirt look bright, it's Todd Cowles.
Yeah. I mean, well, listen, there's a reason that he's the fashion coordinator.
That's right.
Enough said.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And ball 4. Shopping draws the walk.
Now,
time for the Just For Men Auto Stop Foolproof statistic. How about J.P. Howell now? Last night, another scoreless outing. That's 10 in a row. Just as the Rays can count on J.P., you can count on Just For Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. He's already studying the charts just in case the need would arise.
well, that's what you start to look at. J.P. Howell probably has a pretty good idea the part of the lineup that he would come in to face. So you're just going over some things, refresh the memory a little bit, let it marinate for a couple innings until maybe you're needed.
JP just reenacting his college days when he hit the books at the University of Texas.
Right.
Just like that.
I'm sure.
Here is Brent Lillibridge. The pitch is a strike. Hey, there's Todd Cowles brightening up the
out of nowhere.
bullpen. Yeah, how about that?
Giddy.
Yes, sir. I mean, he looks good wherever he is. Anywhere in the ballpark, in or out. And he's down there with the enforcers, so
picking up tips. You know, if you're going to be the official chaperone, you're going to be the muscle on the trip to Vegas.
Yep.
Then you go to the enforcer and you figure it out.
Yep. Making a few mental notes right there in the enforcer.
Everybody's studying down in the bullpen.
Yeah, pretty serious. It's an intimidating place to be. Which missed a little wide. It's 1-2. Fastball up just a bit. 2-2, close pitch.
Take a look. Very, very close here. David Price with that fastball.
Just off the plate. Up and in. Chopping at first. Nobody out. Liner into center. Upton trying to close and comes up with it on the short hop. Quick throw back into the infield. It's a base hit. Chopping advances to second. Well, that's an athletic pickup by Upton out there as he short hopped that ball and had thoughts of trying to get a force play.
Now that ball off the bat of Lillibridge, and you're right, B.J. Upton, here it is. It's a changeup.
And B.J. going for broke there, and after realizing, you know, hey, listen, I came up a little bit short on the scoop, still had the mind to try to flip that in there and maybe get Kelly Shopping, who had to obviously hold up, couldn't run all the way to second base for fear that B.J. would catch that ball. But I'm going to tell you something. That's the second changeup in a row now, and we saw a couple earlier in the game that David Price did not have the good arm speed that he's had all season long. And you go back to the fact that he hasn't thrown it in his last couple of starts, and you wonder, that pitch a little bit rusty right now. Watch this changeup. This is not the good arm speed that David Price normally comes with this pitch. The velocity has been down a little bit on it. And that ball stayed up where Lillibridge could get the back to it. Same thing on the changeup that he threw for ball 4 to Kelly Shopping.
Daniel Nava. He's going to bunt up the first base side, foul, scooped by Pena. Strike one.
I mean, for that pitch to be effective for David, for anybody that throws the changeup, it has to mimic that fastball and have that really, really good quick arm speed, like you're throwing a four-seamer. In the last few, the body has slowed up.
Strike the count to Daniel Nava. Was called out on strikes his first time. Came into the game hitting 170 against left-handed pitching, and the Red Sox have him up there bunting, trying to advance the runners to the top of the order. See what he does here. 0-1. Full swing and a line drive into right, caught by Zobrist. That's the first out. So they switch off, and Nova lines out to right. One gone with men still at first and second. Well, the Tigers and the Orioles having quite a game. Detroit scored 3 in the top of the 9th at Baltimore to, at that time, tie the game at 4. They scored a run in the 11th. Baltimore scored a run in the bottom of the 11th, retie it at 5. And now the Tigers have just scored a run in the 13th to make it 6-5. The Tigers have won 6 in a row, and they're trying to make a move in the American League Central. Here's Ellsbury. Jacoby Ellsbury's grounded out and has hit a fly ball to left. The pitch is a strike. High. It's 1-1. David took the loss against the Red Sox up at Fenway on the 13th of April. That's when Ellsbury was injured. And he had a no decision in 7 innings, allowing just 1 run against the Red Sox. Later, there's a base hit into left. Shopping was headed back towards second to see if the ball was going to clear the left side of the infield. So he advances to third and stops on the base hit by Ellsbury, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, I don't think he would have had a chance to score anyway, but strange there, Kelly Shopping. That ball clearly in the hole. He probably didn't check to see where the fielders were prior to the pitch. Just watch this ball. There's no question it's getting through. Kelly not sure where Elliott Johnson is, has to hold up. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Carrying 2 cans of pop in his back pockets.
Well, the bases are loaded. You never know when you might get hungry.
I guess so.
Could be a sandwich in there.
Plans on being out there for a while. Goodness. And dessert in the left pocket.
Suriaco at the plate. The pitch is down around his feet. 1 ball, no strikes. Suriaco struck out swinging in the first and again in the 4th inning. Liner into right field. Zobrist there to make the catch. Here's a man trying to score. The throw. Shopping is out at the plate. Shopik cut down at the plate on the peg from Zobrist. Molina put the tag on him, and the Rays get out of that inning without allowing a run. Zobrist on the assist, cutting down Shopik. Here's the throw and the tag. It's still 2-1 Boston. He's trailed 2-1, and boy, what a play by both Zobrist and Molina on that double play.
Yeah, Ben does a nice job of transitioning from that ball up and away to the throw. One hop on the money. Jose Molina, a nice job of using that left foot to block the plate and the slide of Kelly Shopik. Watch him stick that right in front of the plate. Kelly can't get there, apply the tag. Jeff Nelson apply the knockout blow.
Yeah, that's a great job by Molina, not allowing Shopik to ever get to the plate by planting that left foot right there and redirecting the slide.
Absolutely. Nice right there. Right there. How about this, though? Yes. Wear that. You're talking about getting an eye patch. Don't get in the way of that.
So a big play right there, and it's still a one-run game. The Rays were facing a bases-loaded situation and get the double play on the line drive to right. So we go to the home half of the fifth, and here's Jeff Keppinger. Buckholz starts him with a fastball for a strike. Keppinger down 0-2. Buckholz continues to get ahead of these hitters, and it's important for him. If you look at his count breakout, I mean, it's pretty traditional. If he's behind in the count, the opposition has a high batting average against him.
Almost higher than normal.
Yep.
You expect that, but his is way up there.
1-2 strikes, but he has stayed ahead of these hitters tonight. As he is to Keppinger here, 1-2. Close right there, just a little bit outside.
Yeah, and with Jeff Nelson, the way that he's been calling the strike zone, the way that Clay Buckholz has been filling it up. Look at that. Just off. That pitch has been being called, not this time.
$11 of 15 first pitch strikes for Buckholz. Pitch coming in on him, and he fouls it. Fastball with some run. Rays had 1 run, 6 hits last night. They have 1 run on just 2 hits tonight as they open the bottom of the 5th. And there's a line shot into left center field. Keppinger will round first and hit for second. He'll make it easily a stand-up double. Lead-off 2-base hit for Keppinger.
Wait him out, battle him, and hope for a mistake. That's exactly what Jeff Keppinger got. And he took full advantage of it in the 2-2 count. He got a pitch left up and out over. Look at that. Don't try to do too much. Put a nice swing on it. Slow, quick. Find a gap.
So now it's the Rays' turn to threaten. Desmond Jennings. Jennings is going to bunt. That's a strike. Desmond singled to open the 3rd, and the Rays got him home eventually on a sacrifice fly. Leadoff double by Keppinger in the 5th. And the bunt, first base side. Willebridge shuffles the ball to the second baseman, Siriaco covering. Keppinger goes over to 3rd. So the Rays sacrifice, and Keppinger's at 3rd with 1 out.
Well, this well-pitched game, the Rays playing for 1 run here, trying to move Keppinger over to 3rd. A little small ball, and Desmond gets the job done.
And they do that with Molina coming to the plate. Molina now 5 out of 11 lifetime against Buchholz. And the infield pulls up here. Molina lined a single up the left field line his first time. Hits it on the ground to short and off the glove of Aviles. That's going to score Keppinger, and the game is tied. Aviles had to reach for that. And with Keppinger coming down the line, the ball deflected off the shortstop's glove.
He was thinking about making the throw before securing the baseball. That's what happened there. And Aviles disgusted with himself. Not happy at all. That's as they pull the infield in for just this situation right here. And look at that. He had already started to set his feet to make the throw before he had that ball secured.
9th error of the year charged to Aviles. The Rays have tied the game. It's an error allowing Molina to reach, and he'll get a run batted in on that ground ball. Sean Rodriguez swinging through a fastball for a strike. Molina's on base, picking up his 16th run batted in. I figure he would have been out at first, but the run would have scored. Thus, it's an error and a run batted in. A 2-2 ball game, bottom half of inning 5. Right side foul. 2. The Rays have scored a couple runs without drawing a walk from Buchholz tonight. We've talked about that before, how important the walk is to the Rays. In fact, if you look at 2 offensive numbers that bears that out, the Rays are 2nd in the league in walks, but they're 11th in the league in on-base percentage. Shows you how important the base on balls is to this team. And there's the strike on the outside edge, says Jeff Nelson. Rodriguez caught looking.
And the way that Clay Buchholz has been able to command that strike zone, the Rays are going to have to swing the bats tonight, all tied up here. And look at that pitch. Right on the outside corner. Jeff Nelson with a little chainsaw action. He's aggressive back there tonight. Chainsaw, knockout punch.
Elliott Johnson. Johnson takes a big cut, misses the curveball down and in. He jumped on the first pitch in the third inning. Was out front of a changeup. Hit a fly ball to right. That time keyed for maybe a first pitch fastball, and he got the curve down and in.
Well, you start to get that reputation of a first pitch hacker, and you're going to see a lot of off speed early in the count.
Now the fastball, and he missed it 0-2.
And he was tardy on that one. Buchholz got him in between. Got him with the curveball. Now Elliott's wondering what's coming next, and he powers the fastball right by him on a pitch that really caught a lot of plate. Kelly was 0 for 4 there.
Strike 3 call. That retires the side. The Rays get a run. Through 5, we're tied 2-2.
Second slot, and Joe Madden feels fortunate based on the fact his team hasn't played close to his capabilities.
We are fortunate to be this close to a playoff team right now because we have not played as well as we can. We have made way too many mistakes physically, but I just got done talking to the guys. I'm okay with physical mistakes. The mental mistakes are the ones that really bug me. So I also want to encourage them to make good, hard physical mistakes, because I think when you're not afraid of making physical mistakes, you're going to make less of them. So moving forward, we got to play a cleaner game of baseball every night. We got to stop giving the other team extra outs, which leads to extra pitches to be thrown by our guys, which leads to be extra runs to be scored. So just play our game that we're normally used to playing.
And the Rays at home off to that 13-1 start, but lately 11 of their last 30. And Joe also said you have to defend home turf better if the Rays are to get to the postseason for the 4th time in 5 years, guys.
Yeah, and Madden continues to talk about this team winning the division. And, of course, with 2 wild card spots open, that's something that they also certainly feel would be within reach. David Ortiz leading off the 6th, and the pitch is a strike. And so they're not willing to concede the division, much less the wild card spots. They've been able to stay very close in that race, primarily on the strength of strikeout pitching. And he's right, the defense has to get better, and they're hoping that eventually they'll get the offense in gear, healthy, and with some regular at-bats. 2 strikes to count here to Ortiz.
Now, speaking of defense, they've made a little adjustment here on David Ortiz, moving Elliott Johnson closer to that spot right here where David Ortiz was able to dribble that ball through in his last at-bat.
And the pitch just missed. 1-2, middle of the order, Ortiz, Ross, and Middlebrooks do. It's away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boston with 5 hits. The Rays have 3. There's Ross on deck. Giving up 1 walk. That was to Shopping to open the 5th. And a high fly ball into right. Zobrist toward the line, waiting for this one to come down, and he makes the catch. So a fastball gets Ortiz on a high fly ball, not all that deep to right. Well, Baltimore, how about this? Baltimore came back with 3 in the bottom of the 13th to defeat Detroit 8-6. So the Orioles are 8 back, the Rays are 9 back, and in the wild card, look at the wild card now with the Angels in Baltimore, and then the Rays and the Indians at the moment each a game back, and the Tigers a game and a half back. What a game that was in Baltimore between the Tigers and the Orioles. Pitch is down to Cody Ross. 1 ball, no strikes.
Got your money's worth in that one.
I mean, that was something else. Tigers scored 3 in the 9th to send it into extra innings. Twice they scored a run, once in the 11th, only to have the Orioles score in the 11th. Then the Tigers scored a run in the 13th, and Baltimore got 3 to win it 8-6 in 13 innings. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Cody Ross. That's a strike. 1-1. Ross has been a nemesis to the Rays this year. He's grounded out and struck out tonight. Pitch stays wide. 2-1. Up. 3 balls and a strike. Price right now at 83 pitches. 1 out into the 6th. The only inning in which he threw more than 15 was the 5th. He made 17 pitches in that inning.
But very economical with those pitches. Should allow him to get very deep into this game.
3-1 is fouled back. Fastball in the mid-90s, and the count is full.
Well, it's nice to have that weapon when you do fall behind a hitter like Cody Ross. 3-1, you can still come with that fastball in a fastball count, but extra little late life and that extra little velocity.
Ball 4. Pitch stayed up. So Ross draws the walk.
We'll experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and inclusive drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Well, a 1-out walk puts Ross aboard and brings up Middlebrooks, who has accounted for both Boston runs when he hit an 0-2 fastball into the seats in left center field. That came in the fourth.
But you saw his season numbers, 294, 11 home runs. Really came on the scene and emerged for the Boston Red Sox, allowing them to trade Kevin Youkilis, Chicago White Sox. He becomes the everyday third baseman.
And a cut to miss, strike one. He starts him with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 5-1 for Boston, 2-3-0 for the Rays. And the ball gets by Molina. Down to second goes Ross.
Well, that hurts. We don't want to allow Boston a runner into scoring position here with just one out. That's a fastball meant to be away. David yanks it a little bit, and Jose Molina goes down awkwardly after it. That's a tough pitch to try to catch like that with that kind of velocity on it.
If you're not going to shift, it's a very difficult pitch to corral. That's the fourth pass ball of the year charged to Molina. So Ross with the potential go-ahead run now in scoring position. That's part of what Joe Madden was talking about in the cut we had the last inning by him. Rodriguez from second makes the throw back to first. Ross goes to third. Middlebrooks is the second out.
Well, all that is you're assuming. You know, David Price has had such good command all night, and typically does, especially with his fastball, that you're setting up away and you're just assuming he's going to hit me right in the chest. Not prepared for that ball to be a little bit offline, and you don't take the necessary precautions. It's moving at a huge rate of speed, and next thing you know, you got a runner in scoring position.
Mike Aviles, strike one. Throws it away. Ross started to break. Price stepped back. He had him, but he threw the ball over the head of Keppinger, and Boston will take a 3-2 lead.
Now Cody Ross with a hard jaunt down the third base line, trying to get in David Price's head. David then steps off and has a chance to get him here. Watch this. Here he goes. David says okay, turns, throws, and it was high and wide.
So the walk, pass ball, a move up on a ground ball, and the throwing error by Price, his second error of the year. And Boston has a 3-2 lead. So the Rays give the Red Sox the lead right back after tying the game in the fifth inning. Aviles pops it up. Right side, foul ball. Pena there to take care of it. One run without the benefit of a hit. Walk, pass ball, and an error. And it's 3-2 Boston. Rodriguez. Then the two-run home run in the fourth by Will Middlebrooks made it 2-1. Ground ball by Molina. Got Keppinger home from third. Molina reaching on the error. And then with a man at third, where the Rays had Cody Ross at third base, but the throw over the head of Keppinger, allowing Ross to score. That has given Boston a 3-2 advantage as we move into the bottom half of the sixth.
That's a very distraught starting pitcher right there, but you know what? He's got to put that out of his mind and go out next inning, make sure he's focused, let that go. Can't do anything about it now. And he has thrown the ball well. No reason to believe he can't keep him right here in the offense still with 4 shots left.
Well, Carlos Pena will lead off the bottom of the sixth against Clay Buchholz. And he drops a curveball over for a strike. 7 strikeouts for Buchholz tonight. Season's high would be 9. That came in interleague play against Miami. One. Pitch is down. 2-1. Rays coming into this game had dropped 10 of their last 15. One of the ways Joe Madden has decided to address that is extra workouts before the game to various parts of the game, stressing some of the fundamentals. 2 balls and a strike. A little tap or foul. 2-2, and he really believes that part of that is to not only try to correct some of those issues, and defense has been one of them. Some of the fundamentals, bunting one, they'll take extra hitting. They will address these areas, and it keeps this club focused. He doesn't want this team to get overly frustrated to the point of where they're trying to make up for lost ground in a short period of time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He wants them to continue to believe that they are a postseason bound team, and at the same time address some of the areas where they played with a deficit. So that's what he's done on this homestand, and that's his approach.
You know, he's got a young team. He's got a lot of guys that are maybe getting more playing time than they normally would. You can't have them get discouraged, and you're right. You got to keep them, shooting for the stars. That's why he still talks about winning the division.
And a swing and a miss. Pena is out on strikes. That's number 8 for Buchholz.
You continue to strive to win the division, and you end up falling a little bit short. Okay, well, you're a wild card team. You're still in the playoffs. But the idea is to go for the top of the mountain.
Well, he's obviously seeing some of the same things that all of us are seeing, and he's seeing more actually from his vantage point and from his experience. But we've seen that defensively, where the club had struggled defensively, and where, frankly, in some cases they seemed a little unsure. The ground ball by Zobrist, handled by Aviles, and the throw to first. And so he wants to address that. He doesn't want these guys thinking about every play they're making and hesitating and hoping that they can make a play. So he's addressing it directly.
And that's what we've seen, too. I mean, how many times have we seen it? It's been the routine plays, some of the routine plays that have given the Rays the most trouble, where you're all of a sudden you field the ball cleanly and you're like, oh, wait a minute, a couple of steps, a crow hop, a throw, ends up a little bit short, where they've been on the move and not thinking the plays have been much better.
And despite all that, and coupled with the injuries, the team still very much in the wild card chase, and he'll maintain in a battle to win the division. Ground ball, Upton is out, second to first. We're through 6. It's 3-2 Boston. Night brought to you by your local Southern Ford dealers, by Subway Restaurants, play hard, eat fresh, and by Golden Diamond Source, your trusted source for over 30 years. (3-2) Boston leading as we go to the 7th inning tonight at Fenway. David Price starts the 7th. He's made 91 pitches through 6. 7 strikeouts for Price and 2 walks. The last one came back to hurt him. And the Red Sox scored an unearned run. Kelly Shopik, who walked the lead off the 5th and then was eventually thrown out at the plate by Ben Zobrist. Shopik, Lillibridge, and Nava, the hitters due up. Shopik fouls that first pitch away, strike 1. Battle between Price and Buchholz tonight. Red Sox have already won as many games in this season series as they won from the Rays all of last year. Rays won the season series last year 12-6, and they are 4-6 against Boston so far this year. 1-1 the count. Tony Valentine in his first year directing this Boston team. He's still battling for some acceptance in the Boston market. Pitch is high, 2-1, and part of that, has to be he's a guy who grew up right about on that borderline in Connecticut between Red Sox and Yankees territory, and I'll be honest enough to admit that he was a Yankee fan growing up. That's not something that
doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help at all. High pop up. Rodriguez out from second base is there, and so that's the first out.
But Bobby, Bobby does things his way.
He does,
and that's
yes,
that's it. You know that going in, Bobby Valentine is going to, make his own way, walk his own path, and really doesn't care much about what you think about it. Boston's obviously one of those notoriously tough markets, media-wise. A lot of competition, need to create a lot of stories. He's not afraid to be out in front.
Brent Lillibridge battling the fastball back, strike 1. Lillibridge coming over as part of the deal for Kevin Youkilis, and that was an issue early with comments made by Valentine. Dustin Pedroia got involved in commenting on all of that.
We were in town for that. Dust up.
Foul ball right back into the screen. 2 strikes. Pedroia, who's on the sideline now with a thumb injury. 0-2 count on Lillibridge. Foul back and out of play. Red Sox coming into this series second in the league in runs scored, 6th in home runs. An 0-2 count. And pitch stayed a little wide, the breaking pitch. 1-2.
Trying to backdoor that curveball, very, very close. Jose Molina, a nice job of going out and catching that baseball right at the tip of the glove. To no avail.
Pitch is wide, outside. Cutter State out there, and that's 100 pitches now for David Price. 1 out and a 2-2 count into the 7th. Now a full count.
Yeah.
Hey, they could use the Carlos Pena.
Yeah, right. It's going to drip. It's going to drip. Catch it on the side, bud. Who in the world is in charge of that camera?
Swing and a miss. Lillibridge out on strikes. He went after the fastball at 97. Strikeout number 8 for Price.
Well, let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitching matchup presented by Chevron. Here he comes. Leave him behind. There you go. Good one. Josh Beckett, 4-7 record, 4.43, but he has been very, very tough on the Rays. And James Shields looking to get things going in the right direction. 8-5, 4.17 in a matinee tomorrow.
Yep, we'll be with you at 1 o'clock. 1:40 first pitch.
Good Lord willing.
Nava breaking his bat. The barrel of the bat followed the ball halfway through the infield, and Johnson to Pena throws out Nava to retire the Red Sox. 7th inning stretch time. 3-2 Boston. Into hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kickstart your weekend at Friday Fest presented by Captain Morgan. Coming up Friday, July 20th, the first 10,000 fans receive a James Shields t-shirt presented by the Tampa Bay Times and custom designed by James Shields himself. Well, the Rays are down by a run. David Price allowing 3 runs, 2 earned. And Luke Scott will open it here against Clay Buchholz. Luke 0 for 2. He was called out on strikes his last time up there. The pitch from Buchholz outside. The Rays had a run and 2 hits in the 3rd. They had a run on a hit in the 5th. And that's really been it.
Yeah, and you'd like to see him apply a little bit of pressure here, because that last half, bottom of the 6th, Clay Buchholz had an easy go of it, a 3-up, 3-down inning.
And just 8 pitches in that inning. Count is 1-1. Take a look at this last pitch. Scott didn't think much of it. It was called a strike, and that pitch, I think the Fox track would have been ball 2. 2-1. Buchholz, 27-year-old right-hander out of Lumberton, Texas. He came to pitching late. He was at McNeese State in Louisiana as a shortstop, but didn't play a lot, and wound up going back to Angelina Junior College in Texas and pitched there with Josh Tomlin, the right-hander for the Cleveland Indians. 3-1 now. He misses with a changeup. So that would have been 2005. And then he was picked in the supplemental round by the Red Sox. They had that pick because they lost Pedro Martinez. So that was 05. So he found himself drafted into their system. He was their organizational minor league pitcher of the year in 06. And by September of 07, he was throwing a no-hitter in the big leagues against Baltimore. I mean, that's a quick rise. There's ball 4.
Yeah, I can't wait to read the book that you're penning. Tonight's inside look here, to you by Toyota. Clay Buchholz, he's been very, very good, very efficient, sharp with the command of that fastball. You see that he has been able to spot up on those corners. That one there, a little bit too much plate with the late life, that cutter. Very difficult for the Rays thus far. However, here you are in the bottom of the 7th inning, and you have a leadoff walk.
And now he's in the mid-80s in pitch count, and the bullpen gets up. You know, because of his situation, they weren't sure how many pitches they could get. Bobby Valentine thought 90 would be great, 100 would be outstanding. He's in the mid-80s right now, and has just walked Luke Scott.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby Valentine or Bob McClure was a very big fan of that sequence to Luke Scott. Starting to miss a little bit. We haven't seen that. Maybe a sign of getting tired.
Keppinger takes a breaking ball, and that was not a great pitch there either.
His worst breaking ball of the night. Just kind of rolled in there and hung. Oh, yeah.
That's a hanger.
Yes, that is.
Albers and Miller, the righty and the lefty. And the ball hits Keppinger. Hit him on the hand. So Keppinger heads to first. The Rays will admit at first and second. Valentine wants to talk with Jeff Nelson.
Giving him the bunt sign. Well, and again, we talk about maybe a little bit of command issues here. This ball up and in, riding. Look at clip Jeff right on the hands.
So Valentine, after stopping by and spending some time with Jeff Nelson, goes to the mound. Spends a little time out there, and all the while the bullpen continues to throw. First and second for the Rays with nobody out, and Desmond Jennings will be the hitter.
Rays down a run. Last time they were in this situation with a runner on second, Desmond Jennings laid down a sacrifice bunt. Will they ask him to do it again?
Jennings singled and scored in the third before the sacrifice in the fifth.
Well, you got Middlebrooks in on the grass, playing tight and shallow.
Oh, turned there.
And did you see that little inside move there by Clay Buchholz? And you saw Desmond Jennings start to square. A lot of times you'll do that just to see if that hitter's going to tip off what he wants to do. And Desmond was definitely starting to square up.
And he puts down the bunt up the first base side. Picked up there by Lillibridge, who puts the tag on him. So the Rays successfully sacrificed Scott to third and Keppinger into second. Two sacrifice bunts tonight by Jennings.
Now he tipped his hand, but still got it done. Stayed on that curveball. Never compromised that angle with the bat. Kept that ball fair. Got the job done.
And he was going to make Lillibridge come to him to tag him just to make sure the runners had a little extra time. And now here comes Valentine with Jose Molina due up. Valentine comes out to make the pitching change. So he gets not quite 90 pitches out of Buchholz. We'll be back with the new pitcher in a moment.
May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
3-2 ball game, bottom of the seventh inning. The Rays are down by a run. They have 2 innings scoring position. Matt Albers will be the new pitcher for Boston as the wheels turn. Albers follows Buchholz, who was in the game last night. Albers for an inning and a third, and the Rays will go to their bench with Hideki Matsui coming off as the pinch hitter, and the Red Sox are going to walk him intentionally. Matsui is 1 for 4 lifetime against Albers, and Sean Rodriguez is on deck. Issues the intentional walk. Rodriguez called back, and Lobaton, Jose Lobaton emerges. So Lobaton, switch hitting catcher, will come on as the hitter from Sean Rodriguez.
Well, Jose Lobaton, what he needs and wants to do here early in the count is see something up in the zone. Matt Albers has a pretty good lively fastball, and when it's down, it's tough to elevate. He wants nothing more than a ground ball double play right here. He'll be looking to entice Lobaton to do just that. Jose needs to stay disciplined, hopefully get something up in the zone and get that ball out into the outfield.
Well, Lobaton faced Albers last night and struck out. Albers got ahead of him 1-2 and struck him out swinging on a fastball in the mid-90s.
It has not yet become a red square, so there's still a shot.
Bases loaded here with one out. And the pitch is fouled back. First pitch fastball. Lobaton hitting .222. 167 as a left-handed hitter. All of his pinch hit appearances have been from the left side. He's 0 for 3. And takes a close pitch there for a ball. It's 1-1. Boston scored an unearned run in the 6th inning to retake the lead. It's 3-2. Pitch is away. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Now, that's Matt Albers trying to get that sinker down and on the outside corner to get that rollover ground ball by Lobaton. And he's missed with the last 2. Starts to swing that count into Lobaton's favor. Can't walk him.
2 balls and a strike. Big pitch here. And it's fouled back. He threw him a fastball.
And did you see the reaction by Lobaton? He not real happy. Got a fastball there, 2-1, had a little bit of elevation to it. You know, you're going to have to hit that pitch to left field, but as he fouls it off, watch his reaction. Got to be kidding me. That was the one.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Misses with a fastball. Full count. We go to 3-2.
Wow, trying to surprise Lobaton in. He did, but just missed this pitch off the plate. That was very, very close.
Full count. Here we go. 3-2, and he walked it. Fastball down. Scott will cross the plate, and the game is tied 3-3. Boy, a couple of near misses, and then ball 4 low.
Now here it was. He gets ahead of him with a fastball, then trying to make the perfect pitch. This is 2 in a row. Able to even it here. Then he goes for the jugular in. Just misses, and then this pitch right here, not competitive at all.
And now Will Rhymes will enter the game and run at second base for Matsui. Rays have tied the game at 3. The bases are still loaded, and we'll get back around to the top of the order. Elliott Johnson.
Well, Elliott runs well. Be tough to double up unless he hits one on the nose right at somebody.
Playing the pull. And he pops it up. Third base side. Middlebrooks chasing it, but it's going to be out of play. Strike 1. This is the strong side for Elliott Johnson, the left side. He came into the game hitting .328 as a left-handed hitter. They still have the lefty in the bullpen. Albers has just walked in the tying run. Rays now have Keppinger at third, Rhymes at second, and Lobatone at first. And a pitch is too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, they'd seen a lot of the hard stuff from Albers and threw the slider there. Puts Johnson behind in the count. Elliott 2 of 4 with the bases loaded. Down 1-2. And he hits a fly ball into center. Ellsbury back. He'll make the catch. The tag at third. Keppinger heads to the plate. The Rays take the lead. It's 4-3. Well, Elliott Johnson down in the count. Made contact and delivered the fly ball, a sacrifice fly, and the Rays take the lead.
Albers trying to come in again. A little surprise on Elliott Johnson, but he does a nice job of just staying down and through that baseball. That's all you want to do is get it to the outfield. He did. The Rays take the lead.
Johnson went down to lift that ball and got it back to center. With the Rays leading and Carlos Pena due up. Bobby Valentine comes out to make the pitching change. He wants the left-hander back right after this. The Buckholz here is they've scored a couple in the bottom of the 7th. Coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, pregame presented by Gulf Coast Honda. It's a Kent Sunday and the Ozone hitting demo and BA's breakdown. Andrew Miller, the third Boston pitcher of the night, the lefty on to face Carlos Pena. 27th appearance here for Miller. He was in the game last night. A couple of base runners. Rhymes went to third. Lobatone at first. Shift on right here. The pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. So Rhymes the base runner. 2 outs in the inning. Bouncing ball foul. 1-1. The Rays do not have an official at bat in this inning, yet they've scored 2 runs to take the lead. A walk, a hit batter, a sacrifice bunt, an intentional walk, another walk, and a sacrifice fly. That's a rally.
I mean, they've taken full advantage. Earlier in the ball game, the 3 hits they do have, 2 of them have come around to score.
Fastball fouled back, out of play.
Opportunities have not been many, but they have taken full advantage and lead here. Bottom of the 7th, looking to add on. Tough matchup for Carlos Pena, but if he can find a hole somewhere, lay into one, give yourself a little breathing room. What she's thinking.
Carlos behind in the count. And a swing and a miss. Pena out on strikes, missing the slider to retire the side. Rays scored 2 through 7, 4-3. Tampa.
It's 4-3. After the Rays Live post-game show tonight, it will be the premiere of Inside the Rays, the Science of Hitting. It is show number 6 of the 9-show series known as Inside the Rays. Kissimmee Sticks, a part of today's show. Baseball bat-making company just outside of Orlando. We'll also hear from Sean Rodriguez, Matt Joyce, coaches Derek Shelton, and Tom Foley about the science of hitting, premiering tonight after Inside the Rays, after the Rays post-game show, Rays Live, the post-game show. Guys, back to you.
You see Will Rhymes now, second base for the Rays. A couple of defensive changes as a result of the pinch hitting and pinch running. Jose Lobaton will take over behind the plate. It's Joel Peralta busy in the bullpen, and David Price out there on the hill. David, through 7 innings, has made 103 pitches. He'll be facing the top of the order here in the 8th. Ellsbury, then Suriaco and Ortiz. And the pitch is a strike call.
David showing no signs of slowing down, and obviously a welcome boost now pitching with the lead.
Ellsbury singled in the 5th. And he fouls one back. 0-2. Close right there for the fastball at 95.
Trying to pick up strike 3 on the outside corner. Lobatone sitting up off the plate. Nice job of centering that pitch, but does not get the call.
1-2. Skied the other way, foul. Slicing out of play. He's 20 out of 28 first pitch strikes. And Ellsbury started to reach for that one and held up on a curveball. 2-2.
Watch him follow this pitch down and away. Does not commit.
The 2-2 and close with the fastball, and that runs the count full.
Well, it must have been just a little bit down because that ball was right out over the plate. Wants it in, doesn't get there, but still catches the plate.
Come on. Full count. And a line drive into right, a base hit. Toward the corner, Zobrist will make the pickup, and Ellsbury has a leadoff double. Well, Ellsbury got a second chance and doubles toward the right field corner.
Makes the most of it, able to get that ball. I think David Price is asking right there, Jeff Nelson. Asking for a baseball, and maybe where that last pitch was. Not real happy. It sent Jim Hickey to the mound, but Red Sox threaten again. Full count, comes with the fastball. His ball stays in, and Ellsbury able to get it down the right field line. And from where this ball was hit, you knew it was going to be at least 2.
Well, now the Rays have their work cut out for them with that leadoff double from the leadoff man, Ellsbury.
Well, you know, this is one of the situations where the Rays as a pitching staff and their ability to strike guys out comes into play, because this is where you need a strikeout or 2. David Price more than capable, and anybody that the Rays bring out of that bullpen at this point is going to be more than capable.
Well, how about this for Price? It's been a big step in the right direction for David Price this year.
Absolutely. Behind just Jeremy Hellickson, stranded base runners, done a much better job. What he's done really is he hasn't become a thrower with runners on base. He has still continued to pitch.
Well, here's Pedro Siriaco, a couple of strikeouts and a line drive out to right. Turned out to be a double play. He's trying to bunt and bunts it foul. That's a strike. Price against Siriaco. Up and away. Ball 1 strike. Leadoff double by Ellsbury. Ellsbury in his second game back from the disabled list. 1 ball, 1 strike. Siriaco bunts, pops it up, and Lobatone grabs it. Lobatone with some quick reactions there behind the plate, got his mitt on it, was able to cradle it and then grab it for the out.
Well, both times Siriaco went to bunt off David Price. He squares late. First one he was not able to get down. This one he pops up, and Lobatone quick. Nice job being able to handle that ball. Starts out behind him, starts to bounce around, but he cradles it to the body. The free hand. Big out there for the Rays.
One away with Ellsbury still at second. That could be a very big play for the Rays here. Now it's David Ortiz. Ortiz 1 for 3 tonight. He singled in the 4th inning. Singled through the open shortstop spot and scored on Middlebrook's home run.
Well, this is where you worry about him taking that ball the other way again. He'd be more than happy to do that and drive in the tying run.
Baseball is too high. 1 ball, no strikes.
And again, the Rays with another defensive adjustment. Jeff Kebinger a little bit closer to third. He's over here before, but you got to keep him close to third for fear that Ellsbury will run.
Pitch sweeps away. Breaking ball. 2-0. Ortiz came into the game 4 for 22 off Price, so he's now 5 for 25 lifetime against him with 7 strikeouts. And that's a strike. Extra effort on that one at 97. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Good confrontation between Price and Ortiz. Keeping an eye on Ellsbury back there at second. That's a strike. A fastball, and again hitting 97. 2-2. Price pitching out there with 117 pitches so far. Made 116 on the 4th of July against New York. Close. Ball 3, says Jeff Nelson.
We're very close to the last 2.
Here's the 3-2. Him. A breaking pitch. Ortiz takes a walk. First and second now with 1 out.
Well, David Price beat David Ortiz. Ball 1 away. Now he's down 2-0. Comes back with a nice fastball here. And he gets the benefit right there on that call, 2-2, and then just misses. Same pitch. Doesn't get it, then comes back with the hook, a little bit short.
So Joe Madden will make a pitching change here as Cody Ross is due. We'll be right back in a moment.
trailing the Rays 4-3. Well, coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers, Todd Anarestis will be in center field anchoring the coverage. And listen to what Joe Madden has to say about this ball game. Be gathering interviews from the clubhouse. And Dwayne and I may or may not be involved. Doesn't look like it there. But you never know. We'll pop up maybe.
Well, Joe Madden has gone to the bullpen for Joel Peralta. Ellsbury's at second, Ortiz at first, and Peralta's on for the 41st time.
33 2/3 innings of work, 39 strikeouts, 208 opponent average. Big spot here.
119 pitches for Price. He made 123 earlier this year in a game against Atlanta. Gone after 119 and 7 1/3 tonight. So here's Ross, and a turn, nothing doing back at second. Cody Ross walked and scored in the 6th. He scored on the throwing error by Price on the attempt to get him at third. Officially 0 for 2. Pitch, Ross follows it, takes it low. Ross with one official plate appearance against Peralta. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and has a couple walks to his credit. 1-0 the count. That's a strike at the knees. 1-1.
Boy, that pitch from Peralta just kind of floated in there, that split finger.
And the pitch. There's a strike. Fastball on the corner, and it's 1-2.
Great location on that fastball by Peralta. Puts that count squarely in his favor.
All 2 strikes. And the pitch. High ball toward right center. That's Upton making the call. He's got it. And the runners hold at first and second. So Ross is out number 2. And Will Middlebrooks, the third baseman, is on his way to the plate. 2-run home run in the 4th inning. That came on an 0-2 pitch. And it wasn't that bad a pitch.
Better job of hitting with it. Yeah. Ball not quite as far in as David wanted, but still not terrible by any means.
So now it's Peralta against Middlebrooks. The Ellsbury double, the 1-out walk to Ortiz. Peralta has retired Ross. 2 on, 2 out. Pitch is popped into shallow center. Rhymes out. Upton is there, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Upton coming straight in from center takes care of Middlebrooks and the Red Sox. They do not score. They lead 2. Bottom
as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. Well, Saturday, August the 4th, the UFC returns to Fox with 4 massive fights, including knockout artist Shogun Rua taking on Brandon Vera in the biggest fight of his career, plus an epic bout between former UFC champ Lyoto Machida and rising star Ryan Bader. UFC Fight Night on Fox, sponsored by Bud Light, is live from L.A. on Saturday, August the 4th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Ben Zobrist will open the Rays half of the 8th, and he looks at a pitch for a called strike. Andrew Miller, a lefty out there on the hill. Pena on strikes to end the 7th. Misses with a fastball, and the count is 1-1. Fernando Rodney, is he in the Rays bullpen now? Check swing and a hopper to the right side. Glove there by Siriaco. And his throw to first. Zobrist is out. 1 away.
That little backdoor breaking ball there. Ben Zobrist, little excuse me swing, but as that ball dribbled off the bat, good hustle up the line. Made a play of it.
So here's BJ. A couple of strikeouts and a ground ball out in the 6th inning. And the breaking pitch wide on that one, 1-0. Into the screen. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Give the Rays another run. It's 5-3 now.
Now very, very important to get that added insurance run, a 2-run cushion now, and BJ just unloaded on that pitch. Only question from our vantage point, obviously, is it going to stay fair? Looked pretty good off the bat. You knew it had the distance. Ball was crushed.
Not going to hit many balls better than that one. Oh my, look at that thing go. And here's Luke Scott. 1 strike to count. Well, look out there. Heads up in more ways than one. There's the strike, 0-2. The Rays, with 5 runs, they have more runs than hits. They scored 2 runs in the 7th without the benefit of a hit, and got a run there on a well-hit pitch by Upton. Now Scott is out on strikes, the slider.
Now Miller comes back with 3 nasty pitches to dispatch Luke Scott. Boy, what a huge home run by B.J. Upton. That extra run, so big.
So it's 5-3. And here's Jeff Keppinger. Shoots it toward right center field. That's going to be in there. One big hop cut off by Ross. Keppinger digs for second, and he's in with a double. Keppinger collecting his second double of the night. He's on for the 3rd time.
Well, left center, right center. Shoots this ball out into right center field, and that may end the night of Andrew Miller.
Bobby Valentine out of the dugout. Desmond Jennings is due. Keppinger now in scoring position with 2 outs. He has scored 2 runs already for the Rays in this 5-3 game. Ross cut it off. Valentine wants the right-hander. We'll be back in a moment. Making it a 2-run game with a home run here in the 8th. Jeff Keppinger has doubled with 2 outs. Now Mark Melanson will be pitcher number 4 for Boston.
Well, on for the 16th time. He's worked 15 in the 3rd innings.
Had a little rough stretch earlier in the season that cost him his spot in the big leagues, but here he is back.
Face Desmond Jennings. Desmond with a couple sacrifice bunts and a single and a run scored tonight. Trying to get another run across the plate. And he takes Melanson's pitch for a strike. Was optioned to Pawtucket back on the 18th of April. 0.83 earned run average there. First pitch is down, 1-2, breaking ball. Keppinger with a 2-out double. Rays had 4 runs off Buchholz and now 1 off Miller. Lanson's 1-2. Moves outside. Missed with the fastball. That's 2-2. 2-2. Ground ball rolled towards short, picked up by Aviles, and they throw to first in time. Rays leave a man, but they pick up a run on a long home run off the bat of B.J. Upton. B.J.'s 8th home run of the year. You can hear it, and the Rays lead 5-3. To 3, the Rays lead and carry this one into the 9th inning. Time for Fernando Rodney. He'll be pitcher number 3. Price works 7 1/3. Peralta 2/3. And now Fernando Rodney.
On for the 41st time, 25 out of 26 in saves. That ERA, a .93, a strikeout at an inning. No wonder why this man was an all-star. Absolutely splendid first half and looking to close this ball game out.
The first man Rodney faces is Mike Aviles. He's singled in the second. 1 for 3 on the night. And the pitch is a strike. Fastball at 93. And a chopper headed toward the middle, and that's going to go through into center field. Aviles chops a single right back down the middle.
Boy, it looked like Will Rhymes was going to have a really difficult, but that ball kind of hit down maybe where the seam. You see this ball takes a funny bounce and is able to scoot right by Will right there. Kind of sped up a little bit. Able to shoot into center field. And
now Santalamacchia is going to pinch hit for Kelly Shopping. 1 for 4. And that hit a big home run of Fernando Rodney.
Now the only blown save of the year for Fernando Rodney, it was a walk-off.
It was back at the end of May. That was a pinch hit home run for Santalamacchia. And the pitch outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Saltalamacchia, that home run on the 26th of May in the bottom of the ninth to give Boston a 3-2 victory. And he's swinging over the changeup. It's 1-1. It's a 5-3 game right now. Two balls and a strike. So that outing, Fenway, the only blown save for Rodney, the only loss of the year. Two-one. Fastball is foul back, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodney trying to save this one for David Price. He has saved 7 of Price's 11 wins. 2-2. Pretty close. And Saltalamacchia laid off the changeup.
Yeah, that ball floating on the inside part of the plate, just off. See, that is so close. Jeff Nelson right on top of it, head right over that baseball.
Willibridge on deck. Saltalamacchia getting time granted by Jeff Nelson. Opening base hit by Aviles. Now a 3-2 count to Saltalamacchia. And a swing and a miss. He's out on strikes this time. Out in front of a 3-2 changeup.
Yeah, and he was guessing 3-2 fastball. That's exactly what he swung at. Swung at a fastball. I mean, as soon as it comes out of his hand, he just rips. Big pitch there by Rodney, and a big out there. You see how far out in front Saltalamacchia was. That's because of that huge gap, disparity in velocity that you have to cover between the fastball and the change.
Willibridge. Willibridge singled in the 5th. 1 for 3. Red Sox have out hit the Rays 7-5. The Rays lead 5-3. And there's a strike. Probably starting Willibridge with the changeup. From 84 to 97. The count is 0-2.
Right. 84 to 97. 0-2. Exactly. Kept it down too. Willibridge took a big hack at it. It's in a great spot.
Two-strike pitch. Just a piece of it foul, and that one at 98. And it caught a little bit of Lobatone. Lobatone trying to walk it off.
Let's see where this ball gets him. That got him in the shin guard, the knee portion of that shin guard, right off the kneecap.
Parker out there to take a look and make sure he's all right. Give him a little extra time. Aviles at first. 1 out, 2 strikes to Willibridge. And another little tap foul. Good cut on a changeup and just enough to make contact and stay alive. Rodney's delivery. Foul ball again. Price worked 7 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. Had 8 strikeouts tonight. Peralta came on with 2 men on. Got 2 outs to finish the 8th. Now Fernando Rodney on in the 9th. Wheeler singled his way aboard. Slovakia struck out, pinch hitting. And again the 0-2. Lillibridge is out on strikes. Changeup gets him. 2 strikeouts back to back for Fernando Rodney. 10 strikeouts in the game. The Rays pitching.
Now that pitch right out over the plate. You see the late finish on it. Takes it below the zone, right to the dirt.
Rays pitching, notching 10 strikeouts. Rays hitters have struck out 10 times, and Rays pitchers have struck out 10 Red Sox hitters. Daniel Nava stands in for Boston. Goes the runner, and the pitch is down a bit. Velez moves up on indifference. 1-0 the count to Nava. Nava faced Rodney up in Boston in a late May game and drew a walk to open the 9th inning that time. One of his at-bats tonight came against David Price. Nava a better left-handed hitter than right-handed hitter. And he lets a pop fly into left toward the line. Desmond Jennings is there, and the Rays are winners. Nava flies to left, and the Rays scored 2 in the 7th, had 1 in the 8th, and they've evened this series at a game apiece by knocking off Boston 5-3. David Price will get his 12th victory of the year. Save number 26 for Fernando Rodney, who has now saved 8 of the 12 wins notched by David Price. The Rays scored 2 runs without the benefit of a hit in the 7th. 2 earned runs, as it turns out. Got the extra run on a home run by B.J. Upton in the 8th inning. And they win this one 5-3. Here's a look at the final out. Fernando Rodney getting Nava.
Now this pitch out in front off the end of the bat. Just a weak little fly ball into shallow left field. Desmond Jennings is going to squeeze it. The Rays are going to win it.
So the Rays go to 46-42 with this 5-3 victory. Right now, let's go to the field and Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thank you very much. That is the guy we need to see. Gosh, George Hendrick walks down in frame there. But Des, nice win for this team. Obviously, David Price kind of set the tone, but you guys did just enough to win.
Yeah, Dave pitched a great game. You know, he battled. You know, he threw a lot of pitches, but man, I mean, he was awesome tonight.
What about for you? You get the base hit, but then Joe asks you to bunt a couple of times. When you're up there in a sacrifice mode, what are you thinking? What thoughts do you have trying to get that bunt down?
Just do whatever you can to get it down. I mean, it's you know, it's not too much to really think about. You know, just want to get on top of the ball, get the bunt down. It's a job. It's my job as a you know, as I'm not a guy that's going to get up and hit home runs. I got to do small things. So you know, we work on stuff like that and for situations like this.
I know Joe's been paying a lot more attention recently to the small things, to the fundamentals. He's been having some extra work out in the outfield and the infield. Do you think right now, you know, regardless of when Joyce comes back or Longoria, that If you guys do the little things right, that maybe you could.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't play as well as we wanted to in the first half, but I mean, we still played good enough to be to have more wins than we had losses. So I mean, we gotta deal with what we got right now. So I mean, once Joyce and Longoria get back, things might be a little different. But we gotta work with what we got right now.
And Desmond, finally, Joe said that this team's not going to get to the postseason unless you're at the top of the lineup igniting this offense. He said you'll eventually be back there. But right now he wants you to work on some things at the lower part of the lineup. What has he told you that he'd like to see you do?
I mean, my pitch selection is not real good. I'm chasing balls out of the zone. I'm not, I'm not putting together good at-bats. So, I mean, and I understand completely. And, EJ's been doing good. So, it's something we got to do and hopefully get it done.
Hey, nice job tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks, Stephen.
Desmond Jennings, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you. Rays win this one 5-3. As we promised earlier in the night, it's now Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. How about this play in the 5th inning that could have turned this game completely around? Pedro Siriaco's line drive to right, and Ben Zobrist cuts down Kelly Shopping at the plate to complete a double play. Jose Molina, a great job of keeping Shopping off the plate with his left foot. That is our Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, play of the evening. 5-3, Rays are winners. We'll be right back in a moment.